Many people think it's normal to wake up 2 or 3 times a night to urinate as they get older. That as the body slows down and the prostate grows with age, light sleep and nighttime trips to the bathroom are just part of the deal. But the more people I've talked to, the more I've come to realize something surprising. A lot of the trouble with poor sleep, nighttime urination, and lower abdominal discomfort isn't just about aging. It often comes from our evening habits, seemingly harmless routines that quietly irritate the prostate every single day. Some folks stay hydrated well but end up drinking most of their fluids in the evening. Others have a light dinner, but it's instant noodles, hot dogs, or canned food for convenience. Some avoid getting up to pee in the middle of the night because it's too cold or they don't want to put on a sweater. Some sleep on their stomachs out of habit, not realizing that this compresses the lower abdomen for 7 or 8 hours straight. And many go to bed without that one last trip to the bathroom, only to wake up around 1 or 2 a.m. feeling bloated and uncomfortable, not sure why. According to the American Urological Association, up to 50% of men over 60 experience an enlarged prostate BPH. But here's the key point: many cases worsen, not because of illness, but because of uninformed daily habits. Every night you go to sleep with a partially full bladder or lie on your stomach for hours is another night your prostate is quietly under stress. Over time, the gland grows larger, presses against the urethra, and leads to weak flow, dribbling, or even blood in the urine. This video is a gentle but honest conversation between you and me. We're going to take a look at 5 common nighttime habits that can contribute to prostate enlargement, and I'll walk you through simple changes that can make a big difference. No medication needed, no intense workouts, just timely, thoughtful adjustments that give your prostate room to breathe and help you enjoy restful, uninterrupted sleep. If this topic feels close to home, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to Live Healthy After 50 so you won't miss more of these practical doctor-style health tips. And if you're comfortable, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. How many times do you usually get up at night? Your answer might help someone else feel a little less alone. Habit number 1, drinking too much water at night. It may sound counterintuitive, but it's true. Even good habits can be harmful when done at the wrong time. Drinking water is essential, especially as we get older. But when and how we drink it is just as important. Many people still drink large amounts of water in the evening, either after dinner or right before bed. Some even believe that drinking more helps flush out toxins or helps the liver and kidneys work better overnight. But the truth is quite different. After age 60, the prostate naturally begins to enlarge over time. It's a normal part of aging that most men will eventually experience. But as the gland grows, it puts pressure on the urethra, the tube that carries urine from the bladder out of the body. This narrows the urinary stream, making it harder to fully empty the bladder. The result, you feel like you always have to go frequently, urgently, or in small amounts. So when you drink a lot of water in the evening, especially after 7 p.m., your body is forced to process that extra fluid at the very time it should be winding down. The bladder fills too fast, stretches, and keeps sending signals to your brain. Wake up, go pee. And each time you're pulled out of sleep, make your way to the bathroom and return to bed, feeling foggy, tired, and drained. Sleep becomes fragmented and shallow. You wake up not feeling rested. But worse than that, every time the bladder becomes overfull and stretched, your prostate pays the price. The increased pressure causes low-grade inflammation in the pelvic region and irritates the already sensitive prostate. Over time, this not only disturbs your sleep, but can accelerate the progression of BPH, making it more severe and harder to manage. I once worked with a man named Bill, 68, from Indiana. Bill was very health conscious. He drank nearly half a gallon of water every day, even more during hot weather. But he had one habit he never questioned after dinner. He'd grab his big 32-ounce water bottle and sip on it while watching the evening news right up until bedtime. He believed it helped him detox before sleep. But soon he noticed he was waking up 4 or 5 times a night to urinate. Sometimes he'd just gotten back into bed when he'd have to get up again. During the day, he felt sluggish, a bit dizzy at times, and struggled to stay focused. When he finally saw a doctor, tests showed his prostate was already larger than average for his age, and his kidneys and bladder were mildly strained from working overtime at night. I gave him one simple suggestion: keep drinking the same amount of water, but shift the timing. Drink the bulk of it in the morning and early afternoon. In other words, front-load your hydration. After 3 p.m., taper down. After dinner, only sip if you're truly thirsty. A week later, he called back with great news. I've only had to get up once a night these past few days, some nights not at all. and I feel much sharper in the morning. My friend, your body doesn't need much water in the evening, it needs rest. Your bladder does too, and your prostate especially does not appreciate being disturbed after midnight. Try making a gentle shift, keep water close in the morning, drink right after waking and spread it out through the day. After 7 p.m., if you're thirsty, take small sips, just enough to moisten your lips. Your body will thank you, and your prostate, this small but very particular gland, might finally get a peaceful night. I truly believe that just by adjusting when you drink water, you'll start to feel a meaningful difference in just a few days. No pills, no devices, just a bit of awareness at the right time. And how about you? When do you tend to drink the most water during the day? If you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear about your routine in the comments below. You never know, your story might be the reason someone else decides to make a healthy change. Habit number 2, eating too much salt at dinner. Let me ask you honestly, have you ever finished dinner, felt a dry thirst in your mouth, and ended up drinking 2 or 3 glasses of water before bed, and then just as you finally doze off, boom, you're up in the middle of the night to pee, not just once, but 2 or even 3 times. By morning, you feel drained, groggy, like you barely slept at all. A lot of people chalk that up to getting older, but in reality, much of it starts with dinner. It might sound strange, but salt, that familiar seasoning that's in nearly every dish, is one of the main culprits behind your prostate's nighttime misery. When you eat salty foods, your body holds onto water to balance sodium levels in the blood. That extra fluid doesn't exit your system right away. Instead, it collects in your tissues, causing mild swelling in your ankles, knees, or lower abdomen. Then when your body finally begins to rest during the night, your kidneys start cleaning house. That stored water is directed to the bladder, which forces you to wake up and urinate multiple times. That's not all. Excess salt raises your blood pressure, which weakens circulation, especially in the pelvic region. Small blood vessels around the prostate get squeezed, causing sluggish blood flow and low-grade chronic inflammation. Combined with repeated awakenings and a bladder overstretched by excess fluid, your prostate ends up like a pressure cooker every night. Over time, this can speed up prostate enlargement, causing weak flow dribbling, or that frustrating not quite done feeling after you pee. I remember a man named Tom, 72, from Kentucky. He lived alone, his wife passed years ago, and his kids had moved out of state. He didn't like cooking, so most of his dinners were canned soup, deli meats, instant noodles, or just reheated leftovers with gravy. At first it seemed convenient, but then he started having sleep trouble, getting up at least 3 times a night to pee. Sometimes the flow was weak or interrupted. He felt tired, lost his appetite, and started to feel down. When he finally saw a doctor, the diagnosis was clear: enlarged prostate with signs of chronic inflammation. But what shocked him most was the doctor's comment, "The salt in your meals is making everything worse." So we worked together to change his dinner habits. No more canned food, no more soy sauce over rice, no more heavy broth. Instead, Tom switched to lightly steamed vegetables, roasted chicken or fish, sweet potatoes, and homemade soup with no added salt. He added flavor with black pepper, turmeric, a little ginger, just enough to make it tasty. At first, he said it tasted bland, but after a few days, he got used to it. A week later, he called with a smile in his voice. "I only had to get up once last night, and I fell right back asleep. My stomach feels lighter. I feel lighter." He added, "Since my wife passed, I've been eating just to get by. But now I see eating right is how I take care of myself." You see, the prostate may be small, but it's very sensitive. Every pinch of salt you eat at night doesn't just lead to more bathroom trips, it also slows blood flow, warms up your pelvic area, and makes inflammation more likely. Every salty dinner is silently adding fuel to the fire of nighttime urination. The solution is simple: eat fresh, go light on salt. Try steamed vegetables, clear soups, boiled chicken, or grilled fish. Add roasted sweet potatoes, unsalted almonds, or plain oatmeal as a bedtime snack. Instead of salt, use turmeric, black pepper, ginger, shallots, garlic, or fresh herbs to enhance flavor and aid digestion. Just a few swabs, a little less salt, and you'll find your sleep and your prostate breathing a little easier. Let me ask you this. What did you have for dinner last night? Was anything a little too salty? If you're comfortable, share it in the comments. Who knows, your small story might inspire someone else to make a big change. Habit number 3, holding in your urine at night. There's a moment I think most of us have experienced. It's the middle of the night. You're cozy under the blankets, just barely drifted off, and then, you feel that slight heaviness in your lower belly. You know you need to pee, but you think, maybe I can wait. I'll just sleep a little longer and go in the morning. So you stay put, tossing left and right. Eyes closed, but mind fully awake. Sounds harmless, right? But in reality, holding in urine at night can trigger a cascade of problems for your bladder and prostate. When you resist the urge to urinate, your bladder continues to expand to hold more liquid. At first, it can handle the pressure, but if this becomes a regular habit night after night for years, the bladder muscles overstretch, lose elasticity, and can't contract effectively. Worse yet, the pressure from a swollen bladder pushes directly onto the prostate, which is already sensitive and easily inflamed in older adults. When the prostate is under constant compression like that, mild inflammation sets in. Plus, when urine sits too long in the body, bacteria multiply more easily, leading to urinary tract infections. You may start to pee more frequently, feel burning or stinging, or sense that you didn't fully empty. The stream becomes weak or scattered, and if this continues, it can worsen prostate enlargement, making it even harder to manage. I once met Mr. Reed, 76, a retired high school teacher from Georgia. He was very disciplined, very stubborn. Even when he felt the urge to pee at night, he refused to get up. "If I get up, I'll fully wake up, and then I won't be able to sleep again," he said. "Better to just tough it out." For a while it worked, but eventually things changed. He had trouble starting to urinate in the morning, felt heaviness in his abdomen, and began to notice burning or even a little blood in his urine. After a checkup, the doctor told him he had a urinary tract infection, an inflamed prostate, and most importantly, a bladder that was starting to lose its tone. Then came the question that made him pause. "Do you often hold in your pee at night?" He was stunned. "I thought holding it was the smart thing to do." Didn't realize it could cause so much trouble. That night, he changed his mindset. Instead of resisting the urge, he started preparing ahead. He placed slippers by the bed, got a soft nightlight so he wouldn't be startled by the brightness, and he made sure to wear warm clothes and thick socks so the cold wouldn't keep him from getting up. At first, it felt like a hassle, but after a few nights, he told me, "It's actually easy to fall back asleep after I go, and in the morning I feel much more relaxed." Look, I know how uncomfortable it is to crawl out of bed in the middle of the night, but compared to swollen prostates, antibiotics, and repeat doctor visits, a short bathroom trip is a wise investment in your future comfort. And if you prepare well, a clear path from your bed to the bathroom, soft lighting slippers, a warm robe, then nighttime urination isn't a punishment. It becomes just a small, manageable part of self-care. Calm, intentional, not a big deal. So when your body sends you a signal, even the faintest one, listen to it. Don't let the habit of just holding it a little longer quietly wear down your prostate. What do you usually do when you feel the urge at night? Do you get up right away or try to sleep through it? If you found a helpful way to handle this, please share it in the comments so others can learn from your experience. Habit number 4, sleeping on your stomach. A lot of people believe sleeping on their stomach helps them sleep deeper, eases back pain, and makes breathing feel easier. But few realize that this seemingly harmless position puts quiet but constant pressure on the prostate for 7 or 8 hours every night. And once you're past 60, your joints are more fragile and the organs in your lower abdomen become more vulnerable to damage. When you sleep on your stomach, the weight of your chest, abdomen, and internal organs presses down onto the mattress. That means your lower belly, where the bladder and prostate sit, takes the brunt of the pressure all night long. This not only mildly compresses these organs, but also restricts blood flow. And when blood can't circulate properly, it slows the body's ability to reduce inflammation or nourish tissue. That's why you may wake up feeling pressure in your lower belly, a weak stream, or a slow flow when you urinate. That's your prostate quietly calling for help after being compressed all night. According to a study published in Sleep and Urology, people who sleep on their stomachs often struggle with pelvic circulation and are more likely to experience urinary difficulties, especially in the morning. Your body can't speak, but if you're waking up with belly tension or back fatigue, that's its way of sending a warning. I once met Mr. Paul, 69, from rural Mississippi. He'd been sleeping on his stomach his whole life, sometimes with one leg pulled up to open the lungs, as he put it. He said sleeping on his side made his shoulder ache, and on his back he would snore, so only stomach sleeping felt comfortable. But recently he started waking up with intense pressure in his lower belly. Some mornings he had to rush to the bathroom, and even then the stream was weak and incomplete. He'd sit for several minutes and only manage a few drops. Tests showed no stones or infections, but his prostate was slightly swollen and circulation in his pelvic area was poor. We spent nearly an hour just talking about sleep posture. Finally, we uncovered the root cause. He asked me, "But how can I change the way I sleep? I've done it this way for decades." I suggested building a pillow wall, placing one pillow between the knees, one under the chest to hug, and one behind the back. He tried sleeping on his left side with the pillows keeping his hips from rotating. The first night was unfamiliar, but he still managed to sleep. A week later, he called me sounding lighter. I did it. I woke up and could pee easily. The pressure in my belly is gone. I had no idea something so simple could make such a difference. Friends, we spend around 8 hours sleeping each night. That's a third of our lives. Every night spent in the wrong position is a night your body suffers quietly. Especially when it comes to small sensitive organs like the prostate, it shouldn't have to bear pressure from your own body. If you've been sleeping on your stomach for years, I understand that changing can be tough, but you can start slowly. Try sleeping on your left side for just a few minutes each night, then gradually increase the time. Add a few small pillows to support your posture and create a sense of security. If you sleep on your back, try putting a pillow under your knees to relieve tension in your lower spine. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just begin to adjust. Your body will thank you with lighter mornings and deeper rest. Sleep isn't just about comfort, it's how we care for the organs working quietly inside us. Don't let a lifelong habit become the reason you end up needing treatment. You can change, and it starts tonight. Habit number 5, not going to the bathroom before bed. Here's a scene I think you'll recognize. You've brushed your teeth, climbed under the warm covers, the fan's humming softly, and your eyes are just starting to close. When you feel a slight pressure in your lower belly, you know your bladder still has a little urine left, but it's cozy. You think it's probably fine. I'll go in the morning. So you close your eyes and hope for restful sleep. But in the morning, it's the opposite. You wake up with heaviness in your belly, a sluggish stream, and it takes a while to relieve yourself. And throughout the night, you kept tossing and turning, not sure why sleep felt so restless. The prostate does not like being soaked in pressure for 8 hours. If you go to bed without fully emptying your bladder, the leftover urine gently presses on the pelvic region all night. And especially after 60, when the prostate begins to enlarge, that kind of pressure can trigger inflammation, irritation, and lead to nighttime urination or early morning difficulties. Urine is the body's liquid waste, and like any trash, the longer it sits, the more likely it invites bacteria. When urine stays in the bladder all night, that warm enclosed space becomes the perfect breeding ground for infection. This explains why so many older adults struggle with recurring urinary tract infections, even if they drink plenty of water and avoid spicy foods. The root of the issue is often skipping that last trip to the bathroom before bed. Mr. Ken, 67, from South Carolina, was a very health-conscious man. He ate clean, exercised every morning, and avoided alcohol. But he had one long-standing habit after brushing his teeth. At night, he went straight to bed without peeing one last time. "I don't drink water at night," he told me, so I figured I didn't need to. But recently, he'd been waking up 3 times a night to pee. In the morning, his belly felt tight, the flow was weak, and he had to urinate repeatedly for the first couple of hours. He always felt like he wasn't done. I asked him if he'd ever tried double voiding, a very simple but powerful technique. He hadn't. So I explained before bed, go to the bathroom and pee as usual. Then instead of standing right up, stay seated. Take 3 deep breaths, relax your belly muscles, and try peeing again. The first time he did it, he was shocked there were still a few drops left. "I had no idea that was still in there," he said. After 1 week of doing this nightly, he called me in high spirits, only had to get up once last night. "This morning I peed with ease, no pressure, no discomfort. I finally feel like I'm emptying my bladder completely." Our bodies have memory. If you create a routine of going to the bathroom before sleep, your bladder will learn that it's time to fully shut down and rest. Your prostate, in turn, gets a much-needed break from being pressed, stretched, or irritated. So try this before turning off the lights. Don't just brush your teeth or wash your face. Spend 2 extra minutes in the bathroom. Even if you don't feel the urge, just sit down, breathe deeply, relax, and try double voiding. It's a small act, but it's one of the best ways to care for your prostate every night. Sleep is for healing, not for struggling. The more prepared you are before sleep, the lighter and more refreshed you'll feel in the morning. And it starts with one small step, emptying your bladder at the right time. My friend, these 5 nighttime habits aren't just the price of aging. They're not destiny. They're simply patterns, things we repeat night after night without noticing. Your body doesn't demand miracles. It only needs you to listen to, adjust to respond with kindness. The prostate may be small, but it's incredibly sensitive. Just by reducing pressure, avoiding urine retention, cutting back on salt, changing your sleeping posture, and peeing at the right time, you can give it the space to heal. And when the prostate rests, you rest. Your nights become quieter, your mornings feel lighter. So tonight, what will you choose to change first? Is it the time you drink water, a lighter dinner, or maybe just remembering that last trip to the bathroom before bed? I'm wishing you a peaceful, uninterrupted night's sleep, because a good night's rest is the best gift you can give your prostate and yourself. If this content helped you, I'd be honored if you'd like this video, subscribe to Live Healthy After 50, and tap the bell so you won't miss more simple doctor-style health tips like these.